Hello again. So happy you could be with us today. We're reading from the Complete Jewish Bible, which is a Hebrew translation of the Bible. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. The Shema. Hear, Israel, Adonai our God. Adonai is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, all your being, and all your resources. These words which I am ordering you today are to be on your heart, and you're to teach them carefully to your children. You're to talk about them when you sit at home, when you're traveling on the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them on your hand as a sign. Put them at the front of a headband around your forehead, and write them on the doorframes of your house and on your gates. Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 to 14. Our Father in heaven, may your name be kept holy. May your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us the food we need today. Forgive us what we have done wrong, as we too have forgiven those who have wronged us. And do not lead us into hard testing, but keep us safe from the evil one. For kingship, power, and glory are yours forever. Genesis chapter 20. Then God said all these words. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the abode of slavery. You are to have no other gods before me. You are not to make for yourselves a carved image or any kind of representation of anything in heaven above, on the earth beneath, or in the water below the shoreline. You are not to bow down to them or serve them, for I, Adonai your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sins of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but displaying grace to the 1,000th generation of those who love me and obey my mitzvah. You're not to use lightly the name of Adonai your God, because Adonai will not leave unpunished someone who uses his name lightly. Remember the day Shabbat, to set it apart for God. You have 6 days to labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is Shabbat, for Adonai your God. On it you are not to do any kind of work, not you, your son, or your daughter, not your male or female slave, not your livestock, and not the foreigner staying with you inside the gates to your property. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, the sea and everything in them, but on the 7th day he rested. This is why Adonai blessed the day Shabbat and separated it for himself. Honor your father and mother, so that you may live long in the land which Adonai your God is giving you. Do not murder. Do not commit adultery. Do not steal. Do not give false evidence against your neighbor. Do not covet your neighbor's house. Do not covet your neighbor's wife, his male, female, or female slave, his ox, his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. All the people experienced the thunder, the lightning, the sound of the shofar, and the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, they trembled. Standing at a distance, they said to Moshe, "You speak with us, and we shall listen, but don't let God speak with us, or we shall die." Moshe answered the people, "Do not be afraid, because God has come only to test you and make you fear him, so that you won't commit sins." So the people stood at a distance, but Moshe approached the thick darkness where God was. Adonai said to Moshe, "Here is what you are to say to the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen that I spoke with you from heaven. You're not to make with me gods of silver, nor are you to make gods of gold for yourselves. For me, you need make only an altar of earth. On it you will sacrifice your burnt offerings, peace offerings, sheep, goats, and cattle. In every place where I cause my name to be mentioned, I will come to you and bless you. If you do not make an altar of stone, you are not to build it of cut stones. For if you use a tool on it, you profane it. Likewise, you are not to use steps to go up to my altar, so that you won't be indecently covered." Joshua chapter 20. And Adonai said to Joshua, Tell the people of Israel, select the cities of refuge about which I spoke to you through Moshe, so that anyone who kills someone by mistake and unknowingly may escape there. They will serve as refugees for you from the next of kin avenger. He is to flee to one of those cities, stand at the entrance to the city gate, and state his cause to the city leaders. Then they will bring him into the city with them and give him a place so that he may live among them. If the next of kin avenger pursues him, they are not to hand over the killer to him, because he struck his fellow community member unknowingly and had not hated him previously. So he will live in that city until he stands trial before the community until the death of the Kohen Hagadol, who is in office at the time. When that time comes, the killer may return to his own city and his own house, to the city from which he fled. So they set apart Kadesh in the Galil, in the hills of Naphtali, Shechem in the hills of Ephraim, and Kiryat Arba, that is Hebron, in the hills of Judah. Beyond the Jordan, east of Jericho, they selected Bethser in the desert, on the plateau of the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilad, out of the tribe of Gad, and Golan in Bashan, out of the tribe of Manasseh. These were the cities selected for all the people of Israel and for the foreigners living among them, so that anyone who kills any person by mistake could flee there and not die at the hand of the next of kin avenger prior to standing trial before the community. Psalms chapter 20. A Psalm of David. May Adonai answer you in times of distress. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and give you support from Zion. May he be reminded by all your grain offerings and accept the fat of your burnt offerings. May he grant you your heart's desire and bring all your plans to success. Then we will shout for joy at your victory and fly our flags in the name of our God. May Adonai fulfill all your requests. Now I know that Adonai gives victory to the Anointed One. He will answer him from his holy heaven with mighty victories by his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we praise the name of Adonai our God. They will crumble and fall, but we will rise and stand erect. Give victory, Adonai. Let the King answer us the day we call. Matthew chapter 20. The kingdom of heaven is like a farmer who went out at daybreak to hire workers for his vineyard. After agreeing with the workers on a wage of a denarius, the standard daily wage, he sent them off to his vineyard. Then on going out at about 9 in the morning, he saw more men standing around in the market square doing nothing. And he said to them, "You, go to the vineyard too. I'll pay you a fair wage." So they went. At noon and again around 3 in the afternoon, he did the same thing. About an hour before sundown, he went out, found still others standing around, and asked them, "Why have you been standing here all day doing nothing?" They said to him, "Because no one has hired us." "You too," he told them, "go to the vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to the foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, starting with the last one hired and ending with the first." The workers who came an hour before sunset each received a denarius. So the workers who came first expected that they would get more. But each of them also received just a denarius. On receiving their wages, they began grumbling to the farmer, "These latecomers have worked only 1 hour, while we have borne the brunt of the day's work in the hot sun. Yet you've put them on an equal footing with us." But he answered one of them, "Look, friend, I'm not being unfair with you. Didn't you agree to work today for a denarius? Now take your pay and go. I choose to give the last worker as much as I'm giving you. Haven't I the right to do what I want with what belongs to me? Or do you begrudge my generosity?" Thus the last ones will be first and the first last. As Joshua was going up to Jerusalem, he took the 12 Talmidim aside by themselves and said to them, as they went on their way, "We're now going up to Jerusalem, where the Son of Man will be handed over to the head Kohanim and Torah teachers. They will sentence him to death and turn him over to the Gentiles, who will jeer at him, beat him, and execute him on a stake as a criminal. But on the third day he will be raised. Then Zabdi's son came to Jeshua with their mother. She bowed down, begging a favor from him. He said to her, "What do you want?" She replied, "Promise that when you become king, these two sons of mine may sit, one on your right and the other on your left." But Jeshua answered, "You people don't know what you're asking. You can drink the cup that I'm about to drink." They said to him, "We can." He said to them, "Yes, you will drink my cup, but to sit on my right and on my left is not mine to give. It is for those for whom my Father has prepared." Now when the other 10 heard about this, they were outraged at the two brothers. But Jeshua called them and said, "You know that among the Gentiles, those who were supposed to rule them become tyrants, and their superiors become dictators. Among you, it must not be like that. On the contrary, whoever among you wants to be a leader must become your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be your slave. For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." As they were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed Jeshua. 2 blind men sitting by the side of the road heard that he was passing by and shouted, "Son of David, have pity on us." The crowd scolded them and told them to be quiet, but they shouted all the louder, "Lord, Son of David, have pity on us." Jeshua stopped, called them, and said, "What do you want me to do for you?" They said to him, "Lord, open our eyes." Filled with tenderness, Jeshua touched their eyes, and instantly they received their sight and followed him. Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 through 26. May Adonai bless you and keep you. May Adonai make his face shine on you and show you his favor. May Adonai lift up his face toward you and give you his shalom. Thank you so much again for joining us. Shalom.